Hello, Food Moosers. Welcome back to the Foodcast. It is episode 53 today.
Whoop, whoop.
I know, we're like loving double digits here. We are enjoying our 50s and we're doing it well.
Shut your mouth.
Yeah, seriously. So not in the 50s. So suck it up, buttercup. Today's topic is celery juice.
Say what?
Don't ew it because I'm finding it's freaking fantastic and I love it.
All right. You're going to sell us on it.
You know what? Whether I do or I don't, I'm sold. So
Okay.
my
You
belly
do
is
you.
happy.
You're doing you.
I am. I'm celery juicing me up.
Oh, all righty.
Before we hit it hard on the celery juice, why don't you tell me what your favorite oily products are this week?
Oh, all right. Well, now that we're sort of rolling into the fallish weather, I'm diffusing probably my favorite combo of all, which is Northern Lights, Black Spruce, and Orange. It's a little bit happy. It's a little bit grounding, and it really feels fallish to me. I love it.
It's like outside.
It is like outside, only inside.
You don't have to get outside on you.
I don't have to get any nature on me. I know.
So icky. That's
Uh,
fun.
Yeah, I like it. So, all right. So
You
tell
like
me
it a
about-
lot?
I like it a lot.
Okay, so
Tell me about celery juice. I'm so
Celery juice.
intrigued.
one of my fellow softball moms at the very, very beginning of the summer, she's a fitness coach and she was helping me. Well, I guess not helping me. I was telling her about my tummy troubles and she's like, oh my gosh, have you heard of celery juice? And I go, oh, I have no idea what you're talking about, which I find really funny because I thought I was pretty up on healthy things, but apparently I was living under a rock. So there is research out there. It's limited. So take that with a grain of salt. But the medical medium, his name is Anthony Williams. He has written several books. One of them is Celery Juice. Another is Thyroid Healing. Another is Liver Rescue. He has a few others. I haven't read them yet. So I'm not really certain of his medical background. I'm a bit cynical, but his suggestions are very realistic and easy, and it makes sense. I mean, in order for me to stay away from the dairy, the FODMAPs, the nightshades,
The gluten.
I'm allergic to wheat, I'm allergic to corn, I might be allergic to oats. So in order to kind of keep some of that stuff out of my normal realm, it's nice to have somebody else go, hey, what about this? With all of his protocols that he talks about, he has a list of things that you should always be avoiding. And they're inflammatory, they're hard on your system, and your body just doesn't really love them. You may have heard of these before.
Are they going to make me sad?
Well,
Are they ones
processed sugar?
Okay.
I mean, like,
we all know
okay,
that one.
fine. Table salt, sodium, you know.
There's some conflicting research on that, but keep going.
Sea salt is different.
Right.
This is more just, like
Regular
salt.
processed.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Anything that
Okay.
comes in a package that has a lot of salty sodium-ishness.
Okay. Gotcha. We know that one.
The wheat and the gluten.
Mm-hmm.
Then your vegetable canola and safflower oils.
Oh, God, they're so awful.
They're very inflammatory. Yes, they're great on French fries, but yeah. Dairy from cows. He's not so specific on, yes, it's fine to have dairy from other beasts, but he's very specific, no cow dairy.
Well, you and I have kind of tried some, alternate goat's milk and sheep's milk and that kind of stuff. And I think we both have better outcomes.
Yes.
With the, and I'll say alternate. I don't know that that's really, but the non-cow dairy.
Other beasts.
Other beasts dairy. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And definitely there's a million choices out there now for vegetable-based non-dairy options or nut-based or all kinds of choices out there. So, keep reading the blog.
The problem now, the caution we will say though is, especially with the vegetable-based ones, make sure that you're not switching out quote unquote inflammatory issues for the cows for other processed foods in those. So if you're buying, a vegetable-based cream cheese, what's really in there. Make sure that you're looking at the ingredients to make sure you're not swapping out one bad thing for another.
Yes. And that continues with the list also includes soy and corn and GMOs, which corn and soy are both very readily GMO'd in the market, unless you're getting straight up organic versions. Another thing that's hard on your body to process is pork. And I don't know why pork more than beef or venison or other meats, but he's very specific that pork is hard for your body to digest.
All right. I haven't heard that.
Yeah. He also says to avoid eggs, avoid alcohol, womp womp. See our post from our blog, whatever you call it, podcast from last week. Yeah. But there are other choices.
There are. We didn't deny it.
It's fun. We're saying avoid, not deny yourself forever.
Right. Limit, not
there you go.
Not eliminate, but limit.
Yeah. So those are things that would be better for your body to stay away from. Cool.
All right.
Also, drink tons and tons of water because your body really does need it to stay hydrated, to keep all your functions moving properly, to keep your... Oh, look at Patty's drinking her water.
I'm cheersing with my water right now.
Excellent. So feel free to add some lemon juice, some lemon vitality essential oil, even maybe some aloe juice. All of those things are good for you and your liver. So, questions thus far, P?
No, I think I can understand his reasoning, whether or not I agree 100% with all of it, but I get where he's coming from.
There you go.
All right. So where does the celery come in then?
Well, the celery starts with a cleanse. You do a celery juice cleanse. For the first 30 days, you're committing to having 32 ounces of lemon water upon waking. So the minute you get up, slamming a lot of water. And then apparently...
because you've slept all night and
your body's dehydrated.
Yeah, dehydrated in the morning.
Definitely.
That's a lot to slam in
I know. It's rough. It is. It really is. It keeps you in the bathroom in the morning too. So you got to plot that out if you have a big commute. After you drink your water, wait 15 to 30 minutes, and then you're going to be making yourself a 16-ounce glass of celery juice.
How does one make a glass of celery juice? Or do you buy it, or what do you?
No. We'll talk about that in 1 second.
Okay.
So after you make and drink your celery juice, you're going to wait another 15 to 30 minutes before eating or drinking anything else. So if you need to take vitamins, if you want some more water, I don't know why you would, but if you want to have something to eat, wait that extra 15 to 30 minutes so the celery juice can get all down in your digestive area and do its thing.
Okay.
And then he also recommends eating fat-free or low-fat until lunchtime. So that generally could look like lots of fruit. And then at lunchtime, because basically what you're doing with all of this is giving your liver time to process yesterday's food. Because if you're going to pile on today's food from yesterday's food, your liver's like, wait, I need some more time.
Now, does he specify the types of fruit? Because my fear would be, you're eating bananas and oranges and lots of high sugar fruit versus maybe berries or pear, or not pears.
He doesn't care.
Okay.
That's not his realm.
Okay.
He is worried about the fat content because it's creating sluggishness in your liver.
Okay.
So that's his flow on that.
All right.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's reasonable.
Yeah. I mean, I really have a hard time with all the water. And because we're on, you're sleeping on the second floor, I don't usually wake up and then run downstairs and get a bunch of water and then drink it and then immediately jump into celery juice.
Well, you can always, I'm guessing, get it ready and then have it by your nightstand the night before.
For sure. I usually, because of just timing, I'm not giving myself this extra half hour time in the morning. I mean, I could wake up earlier, but whatever. So I usually just start with the celery juice.
Okay.
And he's talking about in the books dozens of ailments that can be helped with the celery juice. I mean, there's lists and lists, and I'm not going to go into it. If you're intrigued, please check out the book from your local library.
We'll link to it in the show notes.
Yes, it's a fun read. So in the celery, which makes it different from other foods, It has sodium cluster salts, minerals, electrolytes, plant hormones, digestive enzymes, antioxidants, and prebiotics. So all things that will help your digestion.
Okay.
And having been someone who had relied for many years on alternate fiber sources to keep things moving and chugging along, I will tell you that celery juice is fantastic.
You have been commenting about the positive outcomes the last couple months. So.
Literally.
Gotta love poop jokes on the Foodcast.
Exactly. No, I've had celery juice every morning for the past 3 months, except for I think 2 or 3 days in New York.
And one day here when my sink wasn't working.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, every day. And so even when we took the kid for drop off at college, I made jars ahead of time and put them in the cooler. The philosophy with it is you want to have the fresh one every day because I'm no science person.
Well, I'm sure it oxidizes and some other
all of that stuff.
But it's probably better than not having it. I mean, even if in those cases where you got to make it ahead of time, it's better than not having it.
And it's also better than buying some juice at the store.
Yeah, which is probably going to have sugar or something.
Or it was made 3 weeks ago. And by then,
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, I mean, and it's been sitting in a plastic bottle on the shelf. So there's so many other issues there. If you're going to go to a juicing place and get yourself fresh celery juice, I think you're fine. I don't see how that could be different from making it at home.
Other than the price.
Well, other than the price, for sure. I mean, celery is not super cheap. It's not crazy expensive. But I mean, I'm getting organic bunches of celery at Whole Foods for $1.99.
Yeah, that's not bad.
So, and I use one bunch a day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
but that's $2 a day.
It's a $2 juice. So here, I'll just tell you really quick how I make it.
Okay.
If you have a high-powered juicer, that's the best way. I don't have one. I use.
No, wait. A juicer like the kind that like pulverizes and then filters through. Okay, I gotcha.
Yes. If you have one of those, that's fantastic. Use it.
But aren't you filtering out all the fiber? You just want the juice.
You want the juice.
Okay.
Yes. I use my high-powered blender. Up to you. Whatever you have in the kitchen, don't go buy a new tool.
Okay.
So you get your big celery, your big bunch. When you're shopping for them, shop for the heaviest bunch you can find because you get these skinny little bunches of celery. Then you need to use 2 of them. And you pay the same price for that. What if you could get, the big fat guy? So trim off the tops and the bottom just because it's dirty and mucky and whatever, and then rinse it really well. There's always going to be dirt kind of down where the stem goes. And then chop it into about 1-inch pieces and put it in your blender. I'll add a dash of water. He says in the book, don't add water because water and celery juice don't mix, but my blender needs.
Celery is 98% water.
But it's different because of nutriently in the celery. I mean, it's not just green water.
All right, I'll get you. I got you. All right.
So
but
I add a dash of water,
a little liquid. Yeah.
Right. Okay. It spins better.
Okay.
And then I put it on the puree cycle and Ninja does its magic. And then I have a nut bag. Insert joke.
Nut bag. God, we know each other.
And then I have a nut bag in just a big bowl. Pour all the mushy pureed stuff in there and then squeeze it out with your hands.
Okay. So you are just getting the juice.
Literally, yeah. I mean, so the juicer machine would do the work or my hands could do the work.
Gotcha.
Right, either way.
Okay.
And then you chug a lug. And don't add anything to it. Don't add lemon juice. Don't add your vitality oils. Don't add anything to the celery juice because there's some magical property in the celery juice that processes in your body and does all its thing, making you magically well by itself. That's why you're not going to eat or drink anything until at least 15 to 30 minutes after you've had it.
Okay.
So it can get in there and do all its stuff.
Okay.
Yes. Do you like the science behind this?
I do. The magical science of celery. Yes. Yeah. I do.
If you think I'm a liar, go read the book. I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
Well, so far, I mean, even if you don't believe it, I haven't heard anything that's going to hurt you.
Right. I mean, I'm not saying go dig up dirt and eat bugs, although those might be delicious. Who the hell knows?
I love a good cricket.
Yeah. Rip the rubber off your tires and throw it in the blender. It's really good for you. No, we're not saying that.
Okay.
That is the celery juice book in a sort of a nutshell.
Okay. And you said you've been doing this for 3 months?
3 months.
and you've
Feel
seen good
good.
results.
I feel
Okay.
good. Yes. If I continue to eat the sugar and the cow dairy and the alcohol, that negates some of the goodness of the celery juice. But if you are really trying to eliminate some of those inflammatory items and do your celery juice every day, you'll feel good.
Okay.
Well,
All right. Now, do you find it curbs some of the sugar cravings and the?
yeah,
Okay.
it really does.
Interesting.
And if you're eating fruit in the morning, there's your sugar. No, I like it.
All right.
The other two books, just for a quick and dirty, The Liver Rescue. So we talked a little bit about the liver with the high-fat food. So he said that there's a number of foods and chemicals that put an extra burden on your liver. And so for your body to function at your highest level, you need to avoid them. The list above is pretty encompassing, but you also want to add to it things we talk about on this podcast all the time. Petrochemicals, dryer sheets, plug-ins, personal care products with fragrance, parabens, avoid soda, avoid vehicle exhaust. I mean, not that you would purposely go out and get in front of vehicle exhaust, but if you live in a city.
Yeah, it's hard to avoid.
Right. Avoid when you can. We've got some in the show notes, some posts to other links we've written about all of these things because, yes, we agree that they're all bad for you.
Mm-hmm.
You want to get some of these seemingly harmless things out of your system, out of your life. I mean, petrochemicals, I mean, I have a friend, she puts Aquaphor on her lips all the time, and it just makes me cringe. So I'm going, it's not good for you. And
I know. I have one with
but I love it.
The Carmex too, and she's so addicted. Like literally, you can watch through the evening of her. Like she'll lick her lip once, and then she'll be like, oh, and then she'll get out her Carmex, and it's like, oh, it's such a vicious cycle.
Right, because the Carmex is purposely drying out your lips so that you will have to have more. Ugh, those marketing people have done their jobs.
Evil genius.
The other book that I read is the Thyroid Healing book. And I know thyroidless, you think this may not apply to you, but your body still, okay, I don't know how to say this in a way that will sound somewhat intelligent, but your body, even when you don't have a thyroid, it still does many of the functions that your thyroid did, but now other parts of your body have to pick up the slack. So even if you don't have a thyroid, you can't go, screw that. I don't even care anymore. It doesn't matter to me. You still need to protect your thyroid system.
Endocrine system.
Yes, because the gland is gone, but the other parts of
the whole endocrine system
family
are there. Right.
Yes, they need help too.
Right.
Mr. Medical Medium describes that he says most, I think even all thyroid issues can be traced back to the Epstein-Barr virus. Now, I've heard of this Epstein-Barr virus, and we know lots of people who have gut issues have suffered from this virus. But apparently, it's very easy to catch, and it does lots of damage to your thyroid and other parts of your body before you even have any symptoms. I mean, like for years. So I think it's just one of those things that lots of people have it. You don't want to feed it.
Well, it goes back to like if you've ever had mono, right?
But it's not even that it's not even that obvious. So you could have had, you could have just picked up a tiny virus, had a cold one time, and maybe you didn't react too harshly. But you could have picked up the Epstein-Barr virus, and now you have it for years and years and years. So eating foods that feed that virus are going to give you the symptoms. So ideally, you want to eat foods that would starve the virus, like fresh fruits, fresh vegetables. Avoid all the foods that we've talked about here today and always, just to keep you thriving. It's sad but true.
It is.
Yes.
But let's not end on that note.
No, tell me something happy.
I like that you're feeling better with the celery juice, and I'm intrigued.
It is a time commitment.
I feel like I'm too lazy. Like I could do a whole batch on the weekend, and
it doesn't taste the same. It tastes different.
Does it taste celery-ish, celery?
Yes, it does, but it's not like if you have nice, fat, healthy celery, it tastes good. If the celery is a little bit thinner, it tends to be more bitter tasting.
Interesting. Okay.
So I'm telling you, you got to find the fat ones.
Well, what's funny is celery seems to be making a comeback and I didn't even know it had a
You know
time
what
before.
left?
Well, no, because you think celery, it's like, oh, it's what you get on the side when you order wings. Like it's never like the star.
Really? That's not what I think of with
Oh.
celery. I think of, what do you start with when you're cooking? It's the carrots, the celery, and the onions.
Well, yeah, I guess I think I don't use it as much of that. I use the onions, the garlic. I don't know, but you're right. It is,
I don't go to wings first.
But what I'm saying is it's never really the star of any.
Yeah, it's not like you get it as a side dish.
But here's the thing. It used to be. In fact, there were cookbooks that were, there. And I listened to a podcast and I want to say it was the Sporkful podcast. It's for foodie, or no, it's for eaters, not for foodies. I like it though. They talk about all kinds of food stuff. And they had a recent episode, and I'll see if I can't link to it in the show notes, but where they talk about how I want to say like maybe the early 1900s, where they would have parties and they'd have all these dishes where celery was like the focus because they believed it could cure all these things and, it made you virile and all, all of the stuff. And so it's just interesting that it's kind of having a resurgence, and I know.
Bring it back.
All right. Well, everyone go try it and then let us know what your effects are. Like drop us a line on the what's that called? That Facebook thing.
But if you're interested, seriously, go to Medical Medium's Instagram page or, Google him, what have you. You'll see just story after story of people saying how they feel so much better. A lot of people have heavy illnesses that have now had a lot of relief with celery juice and avoiding these other foods that he talks about. So something to try.
All right. What's our ditch and switch then, Heather?
Well, I think I already talked about it. Just the store-bought juices. Any of those ones that it looks really pretty in the plastic bottle because it's orange or green. It does not have the same taste. It does not have the same nutrition. It does not, it's not fresh pressed. So go get the fresh pressed version.
Okay.
Yeah, do it.
Please.
Because I said so. And I mean it.
But also, you do you.
But do what I say.
All right. Well, don't forget to sign up for our newsletter at foodmoose.com. As always, you can find us at Food Moose on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, all the things. Please write us a review. We ask you wherever you found this. Don't forget to subscribe so you get everything dropped into your player of choice auto-magically. And let's all go live for real. Moose out.